Hey, Christina. So this is in context of when we look at the what we call the automation lifecycle, right? So you always have a number of steps that you want to do when you are trying to deploy an automation solution, an AI solution, overall a technology solution inside the company. There's a life cycle. You start by doing the discovery to understand where to apply the technology, which is, by the way, a large challenge for many CEOs. And then you solution, you build, you test, you deploy, and then you run and maintain, right? How do you see this being impacted by AI, right? So we see AI being utilized. I use it every day. People are using it to do pretty much everything: email, writing books, even now movies, right? How do you see this entire automation lifecycle being impacted by AI?
I think everything is going to grow exponentially, just like you mentioned before. So there won't be a stage within the life cycle that's not going to scale, let's say, abruptly or in a disruptive manner. So I'm thinking the fact that right now we're going to see the stages, how they're actually going to evolve, learn, relearn, and being able to actually be enabled more and more. So probably I'm thinking that while it seems like normally on the idea generation to improve, like being able to detect, maybe suggest some potential automation areas and things like that, the challenges will come in the data mining development, like probably generating code and making sure that that code is good. So all of this, even if you do testing and deployment much faster, the way you're going to need to focus and reshift a little bit is understanding how you're going to do the maintenance and updates of all of these solutions that are going to be, let's say, self-optimized and proactively being able to identify how changes are going to happen and all of this. So it is still going to require an expertise in management, even if we're looking at it from an AI-driven type of automation lifecycle. And I think this one with scaling would be something that we would need to pay attention to, because it's not easy, especially when you go beyond, let's say, thousands of robots and thousands of automations, as it would need a very good framework for us to be able to, as you mentioned before, not have an impact on the company, on the reputation, or on the brand itself.
Yeah, fully aligned. So I think AI is, as you said, right? AI is going to accelerate and augment our capability to identify opportunity and use case inside companies. It's also going to allow us to solution develop and test much faster, which at the end of the day is great, but it will augment the size of the footprint. It will augment the amount of robots, the amount of agent that we are creating. And that pool of digital worker will have to be managed one way or the other, right? So that's here where we are also expecting AI to help, AI to not only help generate more automation, but also help with the management of that footprint. Think about it, right? As you said, there's more and more companies that are starting to have 50, 100, 150 processes fully automated and running. If we suddenly 10x that footprint because we are using AI to do so, it's going to become a very large pool of robots that will have to be managed very carefully, because especially if they are really AI enabled and they start making really critical decision, obviously the company being accountable for everything happening here, the framework will have to ensure that things are under control.
Think of the scarcity of the talent pools, right? So even if you hire all of these people that are going to manage and maintain all of the systems that we're going to enable, it's still very challenging. So we're not just talking about making sure that, let's say, AI will be correctly set in place, but we're also looking at the human potential that you don't have to actually leverage in this kind of moments.
Yeah. Thank you.